Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, so my name is Eve. This is Eve Creations Paint Party. It's Tuesday night. How to Tuesdays. We're on Landscapes Q&A Part 4. So say hello, hello, hello. If you're practicing with me tonight, let me know if anyone's practicing with me tonight. Gotta give props to who is, I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, say hi to your fans, Butters. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi to your fans, buddy. Yeah, we're so excited. Yes, we are. Yes. Always got to give props to him because you never know when he's going to be chiming in. I'll show you my handy dandy table. So we have black, blue, red, yellow, and white. Of course, the Java, the most important thing, the water, a whole cup full of stuffs. So I'll let you know what I'm using when I'm using it. And we're going to be finishing we should finish our landscape tonight. We'll see what happens. So let me know if you're hanging out with me tonight. Let me put you guys in your handy dandy holder, right? Handy dandy holder time so you can look at what we're doing. So there it is. That's what we're doing. All right. So we're going to be working on this, and this is your practice session. So make sure you guys, you have any questions you want to ask me. This is a Q&A. If there's anything that you were trying from the other parts that you were not sure of, let me know. And also, this is your time to ask me questions. I don't know what's going on with this stand right now. It's all like wobbly. It's being wobbly. Not really sure what that's about. But anyway, I'm not going to mess with it. I'm going to mess with it and you guys are all going to fall down. That's what's going to happen. So I'm working on a 16 by 20. It's 16 this way, 20 straight across. And, I'm going to pick up where I left off unless somebody has a question of what we already did. And then I'll go over that instead. Okay, guys? So I don't see any comments on here yet. There's Sheila. Hello, 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 Sheila. So, all right. I was hoping nothing was screwed up. But there you are. Hi, guys. Hello, 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 everybody. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Oh, yeah. Right? Whew. The heat just came on. Like, I don't need the heat on right now. It's been nuts in New Jersey. It's been absolutely insane. So the 3 days ago, it was like 80 degrees. And then yesterday into today, it decided to, hello, Joan. How are you doing, sweetheart? It decided to drop into like the 50s. So I've seriously had my AC on like 2-3 days ago. And now I have the heat on. Very strange. Very, very, very strange. But that's Indian summer for you guys. Hello, Debbie. How are you doing, sweetheart? So, yeah, that's how it's going. I'm going to, if you guys have any questions for me, if you tried to do any of this, 6,000%, let me know. If you just have questions in general, let me know. Okay, guys? And we're going to pick up where we left off, wherever that was. And finish up our landscape here. I think we should finish up tonight. I believe we're going to finish up tonight. There's not much more to show you. And you're all caught up. Awesome, Sheila. That's amazing. Good for you. Great job. Absolutely. Because we're going to be adding trees. You guys seen me paint trees like 6,000 times. I have a how-to trees out there. Friday was all about trees, right? That whole video was me doing a trees. So we have some trees to add. If there's anything else you'd like to see me add, hello, gal. Guys, let me know if there's something that you want to see me throw into our landscape real quick. Let me know. Hello, Jimmy Gal. How are you doing, sweetheart? So, let me know now so I can wrap my head around it. I'll be like, goodbye. Can I see ya? I'll be like, what? Oh, man, that's hysterical. All right, so I'm going to let you guys look at whatever we're working on here. And we're going to get started. Everyone's popping in. Everybody's popping in. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, pop, pop. We got a nice little list going here. I'm going to lower my my heat. I'm going to lower my heat. Woo! That was hot. That was hot stuff. Hot stuff going on. Hot stuff. Still waiting for your Blick Acrylic black and blue paint. Gosh darn. Gosh darn, Gail. I hate when that happens. But I'm glad you ordered it. I'm glad you ordered it. Alright, so what are we working on here? Let me take a look at this thing. Okay, we got to finish our rocks. We got to add to our shoreline. We got to finish our water. I'm going to add some trees. And we're going to add a couple of trees. And we'll see where that goes. So, okay. So, if I'm going to be adding trees, right? I got the same colors every single time. One thing I want to do is... right, so we have this whole thing going into the distance, right? We have this like forest here going into the distance, and then we have the water coming towards us. So you can look at this water like it's coming at you like this. That's okay, Sheila. You can paint right over it. Hello, 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 Marie. Marie, how are you, sweetheart? So you can paint over it. That's all right. Or make it snow. Turn it into a snowy landscape. That would work too. You just have to add more clouds. Right? So, but you can paint right over that. It's all good. So what I want to do is I actually want to make it so this is like going away from us and the water's coming at us from this direction. So instead of having it be like it's coming at you from like this, I want to make it look like it's coming at you like this. Okay, so how am I going to do that? So what I'm going to do is this little area right back here, right, is going to be tiny, tiny, tiny. Tiny, tiny, tiny right there. And then this area over here is going to be larger objects. You're fine. Glad to hear it, Murray, Murray. So that's how you do that, okay? So you actually do it with the objects around you. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do a tiny little tree right back there. Yes, and whenever you talk about tiny little trees, you got to change your voice. That's the way that works. I'm going to do a tiny little tree right back there. So, what do I need for a tiny little tree? I need a tiny brush is what I need. Okay, so let's see. Do I have a tiny brush in here? I have a Mr. Nifty in here. Mr. Nifty will do the job. So I guess I'll grab Mr. Nifty's. All right, so swirl and tap dab and Mr. Nifty. Whatcha? This tiny little guy. I do have a list of Nifties to send out. So I will be taking care of that. That is on my list. Hello, 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 Carolyn. How are you doing, sweetie? So that is on my list on things to do. Woo, woo, woo. Things to do. Things to do. Okay, so since this is really far away, right, I'm just going to grab some black paint. I'm just going to grab some black paint. Make sure it's nice and loose and thin. And I'm working with Mr. Nifty, and we're going right in this little area right here. Okay, so we're going to do a small little tree. There he is. Just a little wiggle, wiggle. Just a little wiggle, wiggle. Oh, yeah. So, he's living by the water. So, I'm just dabbing, making the bottom of his trunk, doing the little triangle. Right, and then I'm going to come up this way, little wiggles that way. Okay, so we're just making a small little tree, right? So this is bringing, if you noticed, it brought, right, now we're into the parts that are coming closer to us, right? Now we're into the parts that are coming close to us. So, okay, and I'm going to do a couple squiggles here. Couple squiggles there, here, there, not everywhere, right? Just some squiggle, squiggle going on. Okay, and thicken the trunk. Da, 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 da. And there's our tree in the distance. So, oh, okay, prayers for Logan, everybody. Prayers for Logan. You're good, but that RSV, everybody has been, you're like the 10th person that has told me about their kid having the RSV. Like, I've never even heard of RSV, and then you're like the, so isn't that's a respiratory thing. So, prayers to Logan, healing wishes and prayers, absolutely 6,000%, sweetheart. So, yeah, I hope he recovers soon. Yeah, but that's not the first time I've heard that, and I'm like, what is this? And then somebody's kids has it, and they said it's a respiratory thing. But I don't know, when we were I don't know, I don't remember. Oh, thank you for the stars, Gail. I don't remember that stuff being around when we were kids. When we were kids, I don't remember that stuff being around. So, oh, it's a respiratory virus with a high fever. Oh, that sounds awful. That sounds awful. Well, I hope Logan has a speedy recovery and healing wishes and prayers and all that good stuff. So I hope he's comfortable as much as possible, and he feels better soon. It's so hard when the kids are sick. I hate when kids are sick because you feel so bad for them, and there's nothing you can really do about it. You know, you just try to make them as comfortable as possible, but, you know, they're sick. So it's like, what are you going to do with that, you know? So I need to add, so I'm going to add fluffers on my tree, right? So I'm going to add fluffers on my tree, and I'm going to grab a mini-me to do it, but this, oh, Brenda, your son has the flu. Cheese and crackers. 'Tis the season, right? That's why I say, hello, Brenda, by the way. That's why I always say 'tis the season at this time in the season, because everybody gets sick around this time. Everybody's sick. All right, so I'm grabbing a mini-me. So prayers and wishes for your son too, Brenda. But he's kind of like beat up. See how he's a little fluffy right there? So that's what I'm grabbing. And I'm going to grab some white paint. And I'm going to grab some yellow with that white paint because, you know, this isn't going to be as bright because it's far away. So I'm not going to do white. I'm going to do some white mixed with some yellow. Okay, and I'm just going to do dabs here, there, not everywhere. Here, there, not everywhere, right? Just dabbing, lightly dabbing. Okay, spots in our tree. So, I didn't go with white, because since he's so far away, his colors aren't going to be that bright. Okay, so we don't have to worry about mapping it in extremely bright. All right, 6,000%. So, so now we need our reflection, right? Our refraction. Okay, so remember reflections, right? You do your distance from the object, not from the edge of the water. Okay, because this is my water's edge right here. And if I did, if I turned around and did the whole reflection of the tree, it'd be out here somewhere, and that's wrong, right? So you do the distance from the object. Okay, so if my object is this big, and then I do the distance from the object, it's hitting here in my water. Okay, that's where it's hitting in the water. So that's the only part you're going to see in the water of the tree, right? Now we have to soften it out, right? So pull down, rub across, and then we have the reflection of the tree. So, and we're going to add color to that tree in a second. All right. So, I'm going to put that in the water. And let's come over here. Hi, everybody. We're traveling. We are traveling to the other side of our lovely world. Yes, we are. All right. So, let's do another little guy, right? So we're going to do another little tree. Actually, I just said I wanted to go from small to big on this side, so we're going to throw in a medium-sized tree. We're going to throw in a medium-sized tree. So I am going to grab a tiny, swirl tap dab tiny. Here's a small round brush. Hello, 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 Donna. How are you, sweetheart? He is a small brush. Small round. All right, we're going to throw in a medium-sized tree right over here. Right over here. We're going to throw a medium-sized tree in. All right, so I'm grabbing black paint. All right, and I'm just going to put this on my canvas. And I'm just going to wiggle upwards. We're just going to wiggle upwards. That's all. I'm holding the brush back here. I'm letting the brush just kind of make the tree any way it wants to be. Okay, so, you know, not really worrying about nothing. Not really worrying about nothing, okay? And if you get a thick line, right, you work backwards, thicker, 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 working backwards. Okay, that's all you have to worry about. So I'm going to get a few thick limbs in here, make sure my trunk matches up. Just like that. All right, put that away. I'm going to grab Mr. Nifty. Nifty in the house. Hello, 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 Susan. How are you, sweetheart? You're good, Donna. Glad to hear it. You are so welcome. Mr. Nifties, right? Mr. Nifties are the, I'm telling you, they're pretty nifty. They are pretty nifty. So anybody that's wondering what's going on, I think most of you in here are always in here with me. I have an announcement to make, which well, you guys, anyway, let's not go there just yet. So, now I'm using Mr. Nifty. It's funny that you just popped in, Susan, and said that. As I'm grabbing Mr. Nifty to use, because he is nifty. But most of you guys in here already know, you're my Tuesday crew, right? We like to hang out, and, I don't think there's anybody new in here tonight that I know of, unless they're creeping. Unless they're creeping, but I don't know. If they're creeping, that's okay. That's okay if you're creeping. No worries. All right, so there's our medium-sized tree. 6,000%. Let that dry a bit before I add anything to it. That's right, Mr. Nifty. Okay, now we need our big tree. Okay, so we're gonna grab a big boy for big tree. Big boy for the big tree. You guys know what time it is. It's tree time. Oh yeah. So since he's real close, I gotta make the brown, right? Because I'm gonna see the brown if he's right up in my face. Okay, the guys back here, I can just do black and do small little amounts of brown on them, because they're not all up in my face. But this guy's all up in my face. So, you guys know brown by now, right? So, red, yellow, white, and a microscopic amount of black. We're going to go the black route today. Sometimes I go with the blue, sometimes I go with the black. So, we got this really cool light brown going on. Ta-da! And I'm going to grab some black with that. I'm going to do a little dab dab. Okay, I'm going to do a little dab dab. And we're going to swoop. We're going to swoop. Right? How do we do a tree? Hold back here, straight up to your canvas. Okay, faster you pull, straighter it'll be. My tree lives right here. Right through my cloud. Later, cloud. See you later. Alright, so there he is. Bam. Just like that. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to follow along what I already did. And I'm going to pull out. Now, as you're pulling up, the trick that I do is I just use less and less pressure. So as I'm pulling up with these stems, number one, right, you got to make sure you have a nice flat thin brush. Number two, you know, loosen up the grip, guys. Death grip gives you thick lines. Loosen up the grip. Hold back here. Give up that control, ladies. I know how y'all control freaks out there. And, right? So, I also get softer and softer with my pressure. It's like I can't show you guys pressure, right? You know, like, that's like I don't know how to show you that, like what pressure I'm using other than to tell you. So, I'm actually lightening my pressure as I move up, so it comes out thicker down here and thinner up top. All right, so I'm going to pull off of this one. See how the bristles are bent? And then I'm going to lighten the pressure to get it to go thinner as and then, you know, you could always work backwards to smooth it out a little bit. Okay, so you can do the going lighter with pressure trick to get the branches of your tree to be thinner. As you're pulling them outwards. All right, 6,000%. So we need let's do another branch right here, right there. And we'll do another branch over here, bam, and another one right there. All right, 6,000%. I don't want to fill him with too many branches because the more branches, the more smushing and foliage. And considering where he's positioned, I don't want to lose my cloud entirely since I just put a tree on top of our cloud. And I also don't want to lose a lot of the stuff that we filled in. So I'm not going to give him a whole bunch of branches because then I have to fill that with foliage and I don't want to lose my stuff in the background. I've done that numerous times, guys. Hello, Anna. How are you, sweetheart? So I've done that numerous times. I've turned around and I've painted entire backgrounds just like this. Mountain, sky, clouds, awesome things. And I drop a tree in and I'm filling it with the smooshes. I'm filling it with the leaves and the foliage. And guess what I covered up? All the work I did behind it. So you guys want to pay attention to that as you're dropping trees in or dropping things that... healing wishes and prayers for you too, Anna, as you're putting things in your foreground, right, the area that's closest to you. You want to make sure that you're thinking about what's going on before you draw your lines in, all right? So you want to make sure that you're doing that so you don't wind up covering up a lot of your hard work. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm going to put Big Boy in the water. Since I have this brown, I'm going to grab Tiny. And on the medium-sized tree, right, he's going to be, you're going to see color changes a little bit more. Not the guy, not this guy, not that guy all the way back there. But on the medium-sized one, you will see some, you know, colors or whatever. So I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to dab. I'm going to dab some brown on him with a little bit of black, right? So if it's coming out too light, just grab a little bit of black because you don't want it to be bright. He's still in the distance. Okay? You don't want it to be bright. He is still in the distance. But you don't want it to be just black because it's going to be harsh and he's close enough to see the brown tones going on. Okay? He's close enough to see the brown tones going on. Okay, so it's just like a little differences, right? It's little differences. And I'm going to turn around. I'm actually going to go to the guy all the way in no man's land. Just because I'm extra. And I'm actually going to soften this black up with a little bit of brown. Are you going to be able to see it? No, but it makes me feel better, so I'm doing it. So I'm doing it. All right, how do you like that? How do you like that reasoning? Makes me feel better, so I'm doing it. All right, so thank you, Anna. All right, so we're going to come back and finish this guy's smooshes. So let's make him a yellow tree. right? So I'm grabbing just yellow now. I'm grabbing, yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. Yep. So that's, so we're showing how to bring it to where things look further away and things look closer, and you know, you have to keep that in mind with all your details. So, I put the white and yellow on before, right? Muted tones, because he's far away. And, now I just took just yellow. I'm just taking just yellow, and I'm dabbing it. I'm dabbing it where my white was, but I'm also dabbing it outside of those white areas to get the darker areas, right? So I'm also dabbing it outside of those white areas. I'll give you a close-up in a second. So this way you get the darker areas and the lighter areas all at once. All right, so we're doing this all in one shot because yellow is a see-through paint for the Blick acrylics anyway. So you can turn around and you put the little white down, all right? And then you could dab around the white, and since it's see-through, it's going to make the darker areas too. So thank you so much, Donna. And now we got to do our refreshing right here, right? So we got to add the colors to our refreshing. So I'm just dabbing this any willy-nilly like. I'm not really like being too particular about, you know, I'm not lining up every single dot. Let's put it that way. Now we got to make this look like a reflection, right? You guys ready for this? It's so hard. You ready? Pull down. Pull down. Swipe across. We're going to be doing a ton of these when we do the train. When we do the train, we're going to be doing a ton of these. Okay, guys? So, now, if I want to be super particular, which you know me, I am, I'm going to grab Mr. Nifty, and I'm going to turn around and add, like I did on Friday, right? I'm adding little pieces of branches through the foliage, so it makes it like some is in the back and some is in the front, right? It just breaks it up and makes your tree look more three-dimensional. Okay, if you have pieces of foliage that are in front of branches and pieces of foliage that are behind branches, right? So then your tree looks more three-dimensional. All right, 6,000%. So, there we go. All right, close up. Close up. There you go. Okay, Mr. Tiny Tree hanging out in the background. There he is with his refreshing. Okay, guys? So, now, Mr. Medium Tree is dry by now, right? So, and as soon as I'm done putting fluffers on Medium Tree, I'm gonna switch over to the shoreline and the rocks, because like I said, most of you have already seen me paint trees. If you have any questions about the trees, let me know. But if you go to Friday's video, it was all about trees, and I have a how-to trees out there. So 6,000%. You guys can check that out. If you want me to show, you know, I just showed you the whole process with Mr. Tiny. So I'm basically going to be repeating the same things. All right, I'm grabbing white, and I'm going to grab some of the yellow and red with the white. Again, I'm not making it white, because I want it further away. So there's a lot of different ways to make stuff further away. Okay, number one is size, right? Number one is size. Okay, so obviously the smaller it is, all right, so get your notebooks out. This is some good stuff. Good stuff. All of my videos are kid friendly, so if you guys can watch the comments, and I'll try to watch this thing. Yes. All right. So, to make things look farther away versus things to look closer, because someone just mentioned you like how it looks further away. All right. There's a bunch of different tricks to do that. Number one is size. Okay. Yes, size does matter. And you can turn around and, right, obviously, the smaller the object, right, it's going to denote that it's further away, right? It's going to turn around and say, hey, I'm really tiny and I'm really far away. Remember Sesame Street? I'll never forget this clip. So Sesame Street, I think it was, when I just said I won't forget it, now I can't think of the character that did it. I think it was Elmo. And you caught that, huh, Anna? And he literally was like running up to the camera and going, near, and then he was running away from the camera going, far, and then he's like running close to the camera and going, near, right? So even with me doing that, look how big I am in the screen. All right, now I'm going to move further away. I'm smaller now, right? So my head is this big further away. Okay? But when I'm closer, well, my hands got bigger too. But when I'm close, that didn't really work out too well. But anyway, I'm filling the whole screen with my big fat head, right? Now as I move away, I'm not filling the whole screen with my big head. Okay, so my hand, right? See, my hand is filling this whole screen up. As I pull it away, it's not filling the screen up anymore. It's getting smaller. All right, so that's the thing with size and showing things are further away. So another thing to show that something's further away is to use less detail, right? You don't put as much detail into what's further away. Because as things get further away, they start to blur out, right? They start to blur out. You don't see them as clearly. I mean, unless you're like me and I'm blind as a bat, everything's blurry. But as things go further away, they start to blur out, right? So we have the mist here that's blurry. We have our really, really, really far tiny trees, right? We didn't put branches on them. We didn't turn around and make different colors. You know, like all it is light and dark, right? That's all we did. We did a base color, light color, dark color. That was it. We didn't do any separate, you know what I mean? Little touches, little things. But I didn't put any stems or trunks or different colors of things or any of that, right? Because it's blurry. Same with back here, right? See how these trees are like going all the way in the distance, right? Big, huge forest, all the way going that way. We didn't put anything on those guys. Look, literally blurred out smushes. And I blurred them out doing the yellow on them that one video, remember? Literally blurred out smushes. But we know, right? Looking at the painting, everyone's going to go, oh, those are trees. But if you looked at this like this, with nothing, out of context, right? If you looked at, earthquake, sorry. If you looked at this with, you know, not seeing it's a landscape, you wouldn't know what it is. I would have no idea what that is. Earthquake! You know what I'm saying? So that's another way to make things look further away. Less details. All right, less details. And the other thing is colors, right? So it ties hand in hand with the less details, but your colors are going to be more not as bright. That's why I didn't do pure white on my yellow tree, because I didn't want it bright, bright, bright yellow because it's really far away. I'm just going to get the idea of yellow. Okay, and the same with this guy. I didn't do the white, white, white mapping we usually do. I did white and red with a little bit of yellow. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab the yellow and the red on that mini-me. That's kind of, and I'm just going to, here, there, not everywhere, pop in some of the brighter colors. Okay, here, there, not everywhere. And again, I'm going to go off where I painted white. I'm going to go like off of those areas to get the darker areas without having to try. All right, so, and if you noticed, I didn't grab any more paint yet. I didn't grab any more paint yet because, like I said, you're not going to see extreme changes in color, okay? This is, you know, so my paint's not as bright, and it's more blended. It's more blended, okay? So it's not as bright, right? We don't want it as bright, and we're not showing those differences, those changes between it being, you know, it's kind of all like really close to being all one color. It's not all one color. There is differences in here, but not as many as you would put in a tree that's in your face. You know what I'm saying? So that's another way to put things in the distance, right? Also, they're darker. Okay, it's darker. So not only is it muted is the only word I know. I can't really explain it without, you know, dull, I guess would be another word. But basically, not only that, but it's darker. Okay, so you want to make it darker. All right, 6,000%. Okay, so we need our refraction. All right, we need our refraction. So again, the distance of the object from the object going over the water. Hello, 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 Amanda. How are you, sweetheart? So what you want to do is, right, I'm going to size up my object. All right, see where the foliage starts. Okay, foliage starts there. Sizing it up. Turning my brush. So literally all we're going to see in the water is right here. That's all we're going to see in the water is right there. That little spot right there. All right? Shoop, 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 shoop. It's now a refraction. I'm going to put a little bit of a point on there. Make it a little darker. Okay? And now we have our refraction. Okay, guys? So, I'm just going to come in, and now I'm just going to dab a couple little darker areas in here. See, and that's the thing that I love bright colors. I love things being bright and bold and in your face. I don't know if you guys could tell that. All right, bye, Anna. See you soon. So, you know, I'm grabbing yellow now, and I'm putting little dots of yellow in here. But I didn't grab any white with it. But I have to watch myself because I have a tendency to put all those different colors in and make things bright when they're further away. So I have to watch myself, and that's why I picked up doing that without adding white to my paint. Because now I could do this, and with it not having any white in there, this is just yellow on my brush, and I'm tapping it onto the wet paint, right? This paint is still wet. You saw me just paint it. Okay, so my trick for myself, because I do like to have colors pop and be in your face and all of that stuff, I just don't add the white to it. And this way, it stays in the softer for me, even though I'm playing with it and adding a bunch of things. Okay, guys, so 6,000%. There's medium tree. All right, once he dries, I'll put in the branches to put the foliage in the back and in the front. Okay, so we're going to go on to our rocks. I'll give you guys a chance to catch up. Mustard. Hello, 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 Denise. How are you doing, sweetie? I'll give you guys a chance to catch up, Mustard. Catch up, Mustard time. If you're painting along with me, so Sheila's in the house. We got Joan, Cindy, Debbie, Gail, Jimmy Gail, Marie, Carolyn, Brenda, Donna, Susan, Anna, Amanda, and Denise are here. Amanda and Denise are here. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's work on our rocks. All right, so we did our first layers of the rocks. So basically, what I did first was, right, we did a base color, and then I went in with some lights and darks. And remember, I said it kind of happens organically. You know, you kind of just, You know, rocks have lots of crevices. They got lots of pieces going in all different directions. They got lots of things going on. So, trying to move, earthquake. I'm trying to move you guys closer. There you go. Now you can see all of the rocks. Okay, so now layer 2 and 3 are the same thing. Okay, layer 2 and layer 3 are the same thing. But I'm going to use a smaller brush to do it. Right, so I'm grabbing Mr. Nifty for the guy that's all the way back here. Again, he's all the way back there. So we're not going to see, I'm just grabbing black paint. And I'm just dabbing the black paint on here. So I'm dabbing some black paint. Okay, just dabbing some black paint. I'm going to wipe Mr. Nifty off. I'm going to grab that brown from before. And I'm just going to dab some brown areas on here. Right, and then that's where we're going to leave it because he is far away. We're not going to see much going on with him. And he's going to be darker, right? Grabbing some more black. Okay, and he's going to be darker. So, there we go. There's our tiny little rock in the back. Okay, so now we got this big guy right here. Alright, so now I can move up a brush. I can move up a brush. So, I'm going to grab tiny. I'm going to grab a tiny, right? Small round. And same thing, right? So I have dark areas already and lighter areas in here, just not as drastic. So I'm going to grab the brown that I made before because it is a lighter brown. And I'm just going to dab, right? We're just going to dab here, there, not everywhere, right? Because I don't want to cover up all that work that I did for the base coat. So, and rocks have lots of different colors in them. They've got lots of things going on. If you want to I did a how-to rocks, mountains, and cliffs. So, if you really want to see me get into it big time, that's on the YouTube channel. So, it's all the way at the beginning. All the way at the beginning. Now, I'm grabbing the black. And I'm just smushing and dabbing. Smushing and dabbing. Okay, and there's no... I'm not putting any hard edges on these rocks because, you know, the water has been softening them. You know, so I'm not putting any drastic hard edge. And I'm making the bottom darker. Okay, and just like that. Alright, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now we got the big guy down here. I'm going to grab Mini Me for. So if you noticed, I changed brushes for each one. Right? That's to make sure that I put everything, my details, in the right size and perspective for the object. So I used the smallest brush I own. Then I went to tiny. Now I'm going to mini me. Right? Another thing. Okay? So things get... I'm doing that. Thank you so much for the stars, Debbie. Things get larger as they get closer to you. So I'm going to switch to larger brushes for the objects that are closer to me. Right? So now I don't have to think about, I got to make this bigger. No, I'm already holding a brush that makes it bigger. You know what I mean? I'm already holding a brush that's going to make it bigger. So I don't have to worry about, oh, I got to make this bigger. Yeah, it's going to be bigger. Your brush is bigger. That's all there is to it. Right? Can't get more simple than that. 6,000%. Okay, so we're going to let those guys dry. I'm going to add more to our coastline here. So I'm going to grab Big Boy, right? Because I'm doing the bigger areas first. And I'm just adding another coat. So I'm going to grab that black. And I'm going to grab that brown. And I'm going to have it all different colors on my brush. And I'm just going to zigzag zoom again. I'm just going to zigzag zoom. All right, we're just zigzag zooming. Filling this in. Okay, smaller zags as I go further away. This is literally straight across. I'm not even going to play with that. Okay, and I'm putting some ground over my trunk. Okay, zigzag zooming. Going to grab some more paint, black and brown. Come in here. And that is our second coat on our shoreline. Alright, so we just want a second coat on our shoreline. And I want to swirl tap dab my brush. And I want to fill in, I want to clean up the edge where the the grass is meeting the shoreline, okay? So I'm going to swirl tap dab Big Boy. And I'm going to grab some yellow and blue and a microscopic amount of white. Remember, it's darker in the back. So I'm going to smash that together. It's a little turquoisey, so I'm going to grab some more yellow. I'm going to grab some more yellow. Okay, so now we have this pretty green color. And I'm going to zigzag zoom over here. Right? Put that tree trunk into my ground. Okay? And I'm going to flick from here because I don't feel like having to fix my trunk. So I just lined up my brush to the edge and did a flick forward. Okay? So this way, I don't have to repaint my trunk, or if I get a little bit on my trunk, I don't have to worry about, you know, having to repaint the whole thing. In a perfect world, I would have done the grass first. I forgot about it. Okay, but I'm literally just zigzag zooming the green into the coastline here. That's all I'm doing. And now I'm going to grab a smidge more blue. A smidge more blue as I work my way up. Okay, so this, right? What I say, further away, the darker it is, right? Further away, the darker it is. Okay, so we're going to add that. Again, I'm just flicking out from my tree trunks because I really should have done this step before I painted my trees, but I forgot. Okay, so, and, you know, you don't want to get rid of all that foliage stuff that you did back in there. Okay, so we're just going to zigzag zoom. And just like that, I'm going to put a little darker area under my tree with a little bit of white so you can't see. And this guy is going to be on like a little hill. Boop, boop. There we go. Here's our little hill for our tree. And there you have it. Maybe this guy's on creating a little hill with his roots too. So just dab in a little hill right there. And now we have the green, the second coat on the green, and it's feeding into the shoreline like it would, you know, muddy, messy, zigzag, zoomy, and all that good stuff. Okay? So, the one that the mini tree is on, okay, I'm going to go just use the dark color. I'm just going to use the dark color. And he's like in the mud, so, and again, this is far away, so I don't have to stress the details here. Okay, and notice I didn't do back here, right? Hello, Kimberly. I didn't do back here. I did a little piece, and then I didn't do back here because I have a reflection on here. So if I did back here, I would have made the shoreline even bigger, which would have made these have to be smaller. So you have to pay attention to that. You don't want to turn around and wind up making your shoreline really large because then your reflections have to become smaller because it's further away from the water. All right, guys? So if you noticed, I left that alone. I left that alone. All right? So is this guy dry yet? Nope, not yet. Okay. So I'm going to smush foliage on the big guy. All right, I'm going to show you how to do water lines. And if there's anything more you guys want to see, 6,000%, let me know. All right, guys, 6,000%, let me know if there's anything more you want to see. If there's something that you want me to show you as far as landscapes are concerned. And coming up on Friday, I think this is this Friday, we got our choo-choo train. Oh, yeah. Chugga, 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 choo-choo. Chugga, chugga, choo-choo. So, there it is, guys. There's our choo-choo train. Chugga, 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 choo-choo. And then right before bird day, right before we're eating birds, we're going to do our rooster. I noticed a lot of other places are doing Christmas stuff already. I'm a diehard leave fall alone, you know. The fall gets a bad rap. Literally from Halloween. Once Halloween's over, it becomes Christmas. I'm like, what happened to the turkeys and the leaves and the pumpkins and the cornucopias and all that fun stuff that was with fall, right? Thank you guys so much. All right, so after that, we got Mr. Rooster. All right, so after that, we're going to be doing Mr. Rooster, right? My favorite part of Mr. Rooster is this right here. I love that. 6,000%. So we got Mr. Rooster coming up. And then after that, I don't know what date I'm going to do it. You guys saw the masterpiece montage. And now that Thanksgiving is over, we can go into Christmas. So this is going to be one of our Christmas paintings, Mr. Jack. You love Mr. Rooster? So you guys saw the masterpiece montage. Obviously, I hope you guys are figuring out that 95% of my masterpiece montages, the sped up version of me painting something, is going to be a paint party. Just throwing it out there. All right, so we're going to be doing Mr. Jack. All right, so he is going to be in the lineup as one of our Christmas paintings. So that is what's happening. That's what's happening on my end. All right. Also, all right, I'll tell you guys now. I love you all. Y'all warm my heart, and this is really bittersweet. It's bittersweet for me. So from here on out, this is the last How To Tuesday. I'm a rip the Band-Aid off quick kind of girl. I was going to lead up to it, and I was actually going to finish out the year with them and do this in January, but I was looking at my calendar. I'm not going to be able to do a How To Tuesday next week. I have dinner plans with a good friend of mine, and then after that, I'm going away on a cruise with my mom, because, you know, she likes to do those things. So I'm not going to be able to do a How To Tuesday then. And then we're going to have Christmas and the holidays. And I just started doing, if you guys still want to see me on Tuesday, get the other social media app, because I'm still going to be doing those. But I got to recognize my own limitations. And so How To Tuesdays, guys, I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off, because like I said, I was going to do it in the new year, and it's stressing me out, actually. And I don't, you know, I hate to disappoint anybody, but I also have to recognize my own limitations. And as Eve's Creations Paint Party is growing, like I said, it's bittersweet, and I'm able to do stuff on other platforms. At the same time, I'm only one person. And, you know, and I have to go where the growth is. Right? I have to go where the growth is if I'm going to be sensible about it. And I see all you guys on Friday. So it's not like I'm not going to see you guys or be able to hang out with you guys or paint together with you guys. I'm going to see you guys all on Friday, right? So Friday is cemented. It's in there. And another cool thing is on Friday, I can completely give myself to that video and my time with you. Right? And because I don't have any fairs or festivals or shows coming up, so I can completely focus in on us hanging out on Friday, okay? And so, but Tuesdays, it's become apparent the decisions and choices I have to make, being only one person, and you know, keeping the lights on is another factor, which I hate that that's a factor, but that is a factor. And but so I'm just gonna call it, and I'm gonna call it for tonight, because like I said, next week I can't even do one. A week or so after that, I'm going to be going away, and then, you know, then we have the holidays, and so I might as well just call it tonight. Thank you. I'm gonna miss all of you guys. I really am. I'm gonna miss all of you guys. I'm not happy that I have to make this decision. You know, so Denise, thank you so much, and Gail, thank you so much for that. You guys got me off. I'm not happy I got to make this decision, but I'm also one person, and I have to understand my limitations, and I have to go. Thank you so much, Susan. Oh, thank you, Joan, for the stars. So, and that's the other thing too. I got to go where the growth is, and the other platform is blowing up. And so if you want to see me on Tuesdays, if you get the TikTok, if you get TikTok. Thank you guys. I'm not the Energizer Bunny. I need my batteries changed. I need my batteries changed is what I need. I need to be rechargeable. But there's a whole bunch of factors. But you know, I'm gonna aw, thank you guys so much. You're killing me. So anyway, I didn't put any eye makeup on because I had a feeling this was gonna happen. So anyway, I love you all, and you know that. And we're gonna finish out our landscape. And I wanted to tell you now. I didn't want to finish on it. I wanted to tell you now. So yes, I'm under Eve's artistry, Gail. True, Amanda. True. I have to take pictures. Amanda, can you? Amanda joins me. Amanda's from Australia, everybody. Amanda from Australia. I get her name right now. She joins me Tuesday nights. So Amanda, if you could share, I don't have it prompted in my phone because I stink. Yeah, it's Eve's Artistry. And Amanda, if you have the link to that, if you could share that to the ladies, that would be awesome. Because I don't think I have it prompted in my phone to share what my TikTok is. Maybe I do. I might. There could be a possibility. Oh, here it is. I do have it. I'm more prepared than I thought. So if you get the app, you want to paint with me on Tuesdays. Right now it's at 10 p.m. But since there it is, I found it. But now that I'm making, thank you so much for the stars, Susan. Thank you. Now that I'm making this switch, it's going to be earlier. So I'm going to be doing probably 9 p.m., which, you know, it's a little late for everybody at 9 at night, but that's more of it's a global app. So that makes it advantageous for people that are in California and, you know, for the lovely Australians and everybody else. So that tonight's 10 p.m., but I'm going to be changing that to 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, so if you guys want to catch me on Tuesdays, that's where I'm going to be. And I'm going to see all you guys on Fridays. So that's another thing that, you know, I was kind of like, you know what? I'm going to see everybody on Friday. I'm not going to say goodbye. I'll never say goodbye, and I'm not doing this anymore unless something seriously goes down. But I do have to make some adjustments for a couple of reasons. So, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Enough being verklempt. Whoo! I did it. Whoo! All right. So, yeah, that's the situation. And I love you all. And I think you guys know that. So, anywho, let's do some roll call. I'm all like sad face now. It's now I gotta make happy little trees and I'm all sad. We gotta make happy little trees and I'm all sad. Darn it, Bob Ross. And all the how-tos and everything else are all on my YouTube. They will still be available. Nothing's disappearing except our lives. And, of course, if you ever have any questions about anything you're working on, you can private message me, and I will answer your questions. Okay, so happy little trees. Is this dry yet? Yes. Okay, so I'm going to take Mr. Nifty, and I'm going to grab black paint, and I'm going to come to my medium tree. Let me see if I can give you guys a close-up. Right, and I'm going to put the foliage pieces in. All right, so basically I extend the branch through pieces of the foliage, and then this way I put, so it looks like some of it's behind and some of it's in front, right? So you've seen me do this 1,000 times. This is my trick for the trees, right? To make them look more dimensional, right? Putting in, and I'm not going to put in too many. Again, you know, we don't see much on this tree. He's further back. So I'm just going to do a couple. All right. And now we got to smush the big guy. And we got to do water lines. And if there's anything I'm missing, let me know. Of course, you guys, you know, if you want to smush flowers and grasses and all that kind of stuff, you could totally do that on your landscapes, right? So if I wanted to grab a fluffy, and I'll grab some white, and I'll grab some blue, and I'll grab some of this red right here, and I'll dab, right? And I could put in, like, you know, maybe there's a little purple flower bed, like right here, right? Or you could do the leaves. Remember the, you know, I love the trick of covering up my, my tree trunks with little smushes and whatnot. Thank you guys so much for the hearts and everything else. I really appreciate it. But remember when we did the leaves on the other painting, I could have easily made this a pile of leaves, right? Grabbing red and yellow and white. Okay, so I could have easily made this into maybe leaves that are on the ground from the tree, right? So, you know, you guys can add all sorts of fun stuff. You know, you want to do flicky-doos. Okay, you can do flicky-doo grasses, right? So I just got a fluffy brush and I'm just flicky-doing. Okay, so we got flicky-doo grass going on here. Okay, so you put your first layer on, and then you can turn around once that dries, right? Because you don't want a mushy mess, so you got to wait for things to dry. You got to wait for things to dry so you don't wind up with a mushy mess. Okay, and I'm going to use my bigger brush to do my foliage, right? Because I'm closer now. I'm closer, and I want to be really careful because I don't want to lose my clouds and stuff. So I got to be really careful, and I'm going to grab just white because this is going to be brighter because it's closer to me, right? And we're going to just smush. We're going to smush. That's all we're doing. We're smushing people. That's what we do. We're big smushy wushies. Okay, and I'm going to try to place these to where I don't lose my entire cloud, but I don't know if I'm going to succeed. But notice I'm not going on the branch. I'm not following the branch, and I'm not making a Q-tip, right? I'm not making a Q-tip. Okay, I'm going off the branch. I'm going in different directions. I'm doing all that happy stuff. Okay, I will add branches in to meet up with this stuff in a minute, right? And over here. Okay, we'll put some smushing over here. There we go. And let's see, where else can we smush? Let's smush right here. Boop, 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 boop. So we'll smush right here. Okay, also another thing, guys, so my sister should be putting things on Etsy for us as far as artwork is concerned. So if there's anything you'd like or order for the holidays, make sure, and especially if you want something customized, make sure that you get those orders in for, you know, purchasing my art and purchasing my paintings. Make sure you get those in so they'll be shipped out in time. Okay, I know I'm totally don't want to hear about Christmas either, but unfortunately it's coming upon us. Okay, and I'm not going to worry about a reflection because the water is going to be moving through these rocks. So, and also I already have like a dark area right here. So we're not going to worry about the reflection. So I'm going to let that white dry. All right, notice everything has to dry between layers. All right, I don't know if you guys realize that. I do a lot of things that I do because I'm killing time. Right? My roll calls, my ketchup mustard, my this, my that is because I'm killing time. And I'm killing time because I need to let stuff dry. Your mountain's gone. See, that's what I was saying before. We got to be really, really, really careful. I lost this whole mountain right here. This whole mountain is gone. But you know what? Those little nuances of it being in the back, like it being in the background, like seeing the pieces through what you have, just adds to it being more realistic. Right, guys? So if you wind up covering something, it is what it is at that point. And number two, when you have the little pieces peeking through, right? When you have those little pieces of what's supposed to be back there peeking through, it just adds to the realism of the painting. It really does. So, okay. So what you want to do for water lines, all right? Water lines are easy peasy, lemon squeezy. They're a lot of fun. Yes, Bob Ross does his water lines with a knife. So if you want to see that, I'll show you. Right? Whatcha? We're gonna use the famous knife that's this shape. Okay, and if you want to do water lines with a knife, I'll show you real quick. So basically, you know, you get that little bit of paint on the edge of the knife, right? You don't have to do that fancy little scrape or roll that he does. It's fun, but it's not necessary. You can literally just dip and get a little bit of paint on the edge of your knife here. And, you know, it's all sideways. It's all sideways, 6,000%. Water, everything dealing with water is down or across. All right? Down or across. Everything dealing with water. Okay? So you're just going to go sideways. So I'm going to start where my shoreline is. And then you just cut in these little pieces. And you have some darker, you have some lighter. Okay, some are a little thicker, some are a little thinner. And that's how you do it with your knife, right? I'll show you, I'll get white on the big piece. All right, so the big piece, right? I got white on my edge of my big piece, okay? And I'm going to hold my knife like this, and I'm just going to slice. Okay, I'm just going to slice, and then I flip it over to get the paint that's on the other side. And you just do these sideways slicing. That's it. Okay, so that's how you do the water lines with the knife. Alright, now, I like to do my water lines with a brush because I'm a control freak. The knife is nice because it definitely gives you a straighter line. And like I said, everything has to be across or down. So, you know, you definitely get a straighter line that way. I'm going to grab my Tiny. I'm going to swirl, tap, dab them. Another thing you want to make sure of is that you want to make sure of 6,000% that your white paint is nice and loose and thin. All right. If you go to do water lines with thick paint, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So, just adding drops of water to my white paint, making myself a little you know, a little volcano hole here of thinner paint. I'm going to roll my brush to, you know, have some of that paint on my palette. I'm going to wipe my brush off. All right. And now I'm just going to dip into the nice, loose, thin paint. And we're going to zigzag zoom. We're going to zigzag zoom. So I'm going to zigzag zoom on something that's closer. So this way I get a lot of the paint off. And then I'm going to move back to where I want it tiny, 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 because there's less paint on my brush, so it'll be easier to do. All right? It'll be easier to do because there's less paint on my brush. Okay? And again, you notice I'm resting my hand on my easel, and I'm moving my hand to keep it going, like, straight across. Okay, so, whoop, that was a big one. That was a big one. All right, so grabbing more paint now. All right, and we're going light touch, zigzag zoom action, right? Try not to press hard because then you wind up with a big one. And then you just work your way up the side. Again, everything is across. Okay, so you don't want to turn around. Right, everything has to go across. And as you get closer, you guys already know the answer. As you get closer, they're going to get bigger. Right, they're going to get bigger. And another thing that you can do, close up, what? Another thing you can do is, you know, you tuck things behind and in front of. So I want to show you that. So these are going to get bigger as I get closer. And another thing you can do is I'm going to stop that right there. I'm going to stop it right there. And then I'm going to bounce and pick it back up on that side. And see how I just made this little hill, right? I made this little hill going into the water. All right, let me show you that again. So I'm going to bring this around. Again, zigzag zoom in, and then I'm going to stop right there where this little piece is coming out. And then I'm going to pick it back up at the end of the little piece and bring it in. So now I just made another little piece going into my water. All right, so I'm not liking this, not liking that tiny, so I'm going to grab Mr. Nifty. He's making my lines too thick. All right, so, and then I pick it up coming around this way. And like I said, as you move closer, your lines are going to be bigger. Okay, and I'm moving my hand, not the brush, because it's tiny, and I'm just zigzag zooming. And I'm using the bottom of my easel to steady my hand. Okay, and I'm going to stop right above that brown part right there. And then I'm going to come out over here on this part. Okay, so like that brown area is a little section. So that's how you do that. You skip over with the water lines. And if you screw up, that's okay. You could always, like, I could grab some more brown. I could come in here and I could cut this in better. Right? So if you did a water line all the way around it and you want to, you know, you wanted that little hill, you could always add that little hill. 6,000%. Okay? So you just stop your water line and then you resume your water line at the tip of it. All right. Now, what I want to show you is the wraparound. All right. So I want to show you the wraparound. So what the wraparound is you're going to turn around and right. Let's do this rock right here. So the wraparound is the water is flowing from around the object. So it's going to have, let me move you over. I'm having like the hardest time with this camera stand tonight. I don't know if you guys noticed, but it is not cooperating. We got earthquakes going on all over the place. So the wraparound is you start on the edge on the lower half of your object. And then you're going to bring out a small line. All right. And then you zigzag zoom it till you wind up at the front of the object. Okay, so that's the wraparound. All right, you start here and then you zigzag zoom until you get to the front of the object. Okay, and then you could do little pieces inside of that if you want. All right, so that is how, and the higher you go on the object, the smaller you'll make it, you'll make the lines. Okay, the smaller you'll make the lines. Okay, so notice how small these lines are. The white line going across. Then it gets bigger right here. And then it gets even bigger right there. Alright, so when you do the wraparound, It's small little line. Tiny, tiny, tiny. And then as you work your way around the object, you make it bigger. Okay? You make it bigger. And the rocks are going to cause ripples. So I like to put extra little ripples around where rocks are, right? Because if the water's moving, it's going to cause the rocks are going to cause these ripples. So that's another thing I do in excess. I do water lines in excess. I love them. I think they make it like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's now, it looks like water to me, right? Before it just looked like a big, you know, blob. But now it's looking like water. Once you add the water lines, it's like, so I have a tendency of doing a lot. Because I like them a lot. Because I like them a lot. That's why I do a lot. But, you know, like I said, it's personal preference for you guys. And these are further back. So small, 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 small. Okay. Alright, just zigzag zooming. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. And then as I get closer, they're going to get bigger. Alright, as I get closer, they're going to get bigger. And like I said, I have a tendency to do, yeah, I did that very messy. Mr. Nifty's too small and Tiny was, giving me issues. So, I did, you just witnessed me doing that very messy because, I was over it. But let me grab Tiny and clean it up. Did you like that? I just started smushing it. I was like, I'm over this. But let's clean it up a little bit. Let's clean it up a little bit, Eve. Let's just clean it up a little bit. So, you know, that's one thing, guys, you got to stay mindful of. If you're over it, stop painting. Stop painting. Because if you're not in the mode, if you're not in the mode and you're just trying to get it done or something, just stop painting. Because that's when you start, doing, you know, you just start getting a little lazy about it. And you could completely screw up something you're trying to accomplish. Because, you know, you're over it and you're just not feeling it anymore. And that's when you can start screwing things up because you're being lazy about it. So I have to remind myself to stop painting. So I had this big rock down here. So I'm going to put some water lines like they're coming from around that rock. Okay, just like that. Plus, it makes it look like the water's really moving through this little piece right here. Okay, like it's really moving through that little piece and going to wherever it's going to go. Wherever it's going to go. Alright, so we're going to swirl tap that fluffy. We're going to smush our tree. 6,000%, ketchup mustard a little bit with your water lines. Like I said, I have a tendency to just keep putting water lines like crazy because I like them. Because I like them. Alright, I'm going to swirl tap dab fluffy now. We got to add more layers to our tree up here. Okay, I want to make him, of course, I'm going to make him red, because that's my favorite color. So if I'm going to make him red, I got to smash some more white on this. Alright, I'm going to smash some more white on this. And here, there, not everywhere. I'm going to smash more white on top of the tree limbs that I want to have disappear. Okay, again, not doing it bright white. It's going to give me darker and lighter areas. It's kind of like underpainting with white, I guess you would call it. So I'm just putting in brighter white areas. but I'm not making all of my white areas super bright. I'll show you up close in a second so you can see the difference between the white, the white that was put on first and the white I'm putting on now. Okay, because that might not be reading through the camera. All right, so, whoop, see? Right? So I made some brighter areas, but not all of them brighter. Just here, there, not everywhere. All right, I'm also, since I got to wait for that, I'm also going to take Tiny, and I'm going to grab my red and my yellow and all of that good stuff, right, to make myself a brown, right? Grab the black, all right, grab the black and grab some white. Grab some white right here. Ba, 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 da, ba. Make some brown. Bye, Susan. Enjoy. Yep, I'll see you on Friday. So I got some brown going on here. Add a little more red to that. Da, 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 da. So it matches the tree better. All right, I'm going to wipe my brush off because it's a big old mess. And we're going to put in, I'm going to grab a little bit of black with this brown. All right, I'm going to grab a little more black with this brown. And we're going to put in some more of the tree branches, right? So I'm going to put one there. Okay, so now that we have where our smush spots are going to be, I can add a few more pieces to this. I can add a few more pieces to this because I know where they're going to be now. Right, so I can add some smaller branches to this. And then once I'm done with the smushing, also I can clean up any areas where I wound up going over my trunk, doing the tree that was behind it, or doing the grass from before. Okay, I'm grabbing more black paint to have this side darker. I'm also just flicky doing through my tree. I'm grabbing brown, I'm grabbing black on my brush. I'm not mixing it, and I'm flicky doing through the tree. Flicky doing. Okay, see me flicky doing? We're flicky doing through the tree because I want that separation of color. Since this tree is so close, we're going to see those kind of details. Right? We're going to see those kind of details. So I want to flicky do. I want to flicky do. So we can see those details of my branches and, right, put in the darker and lighter areas. I'm going to put some black right underneath the foliage piece here, right there. Okay, make this darker right there. Okay, make some of these areas darker. And I'm, you know, if you notice, I'm dabbing. I'm not turning around and doing straight, solid lines. I'm dabbing colors throughout this tree. Okay, so you want to get into the habit of, yeah, I'm painting a tree branch. That's a line, right? That's what your brain wants to tell you. But really, what you're painting is bark. And bark is like all these crazy little sections of colors and whatnot's going on. So you can dab, right? You can dab and dash and all those good things. You don't have to turn around. And I've never seen we have to cut trees to make them straight lines, right? You ever see a tree log? A tree log is not straight lines. It's got bumps and grooves and pieces and all this kind of stuff. So a tree has bumps and grooves and creases and all that kind of stuff. So you're not going to turn around and do a poker straight line because trees aren't straight. They're like me, a little bit crooked. So trees aren't straight. All right, so I'm going to swirl tap dab Fluffy. Right, we got some flicky-doo grass going on over here. We got some flicky-doo grass going on over here. Okay, so we're gonna flicky-do our grass, and I'm gonna go with purples. All right, so I'm gonna grab my red, and I'm gonna grab some blue, and I'm gonna smash, boop, boop, and I'm gonna grab some white, and I'm gonna smash, boop, boop, and a little more red, boop, boop, and I'm gonna leave it all separate on my brush. See that? See that? All the separate colors on my brush. Right? And I'm going to hold my brush back here, and I'm going to flicky-do. I'm going to flicky-do. Okay? And I'm going to stick and move so I don't lose all those separations of color. Right? Stick and move, right? Put it on there, do your flick, one, maybe two more, just to, you know, kind of whatever, and then leave it alone. Leave it alone. So then you have all that separation of color, right? And now I could turn around and I'm going to grab just blue. And I'm going to do some just blue flicks towards the bottom. I'm going to wipe my brush off. I'm going to wipe my brush off. And we're going to just do whoop, boop, boof. Soft flickies. Just kind of working it through there to have the darker areas. Okay, and then I'm going to grab my red. And I'm going to add some red in here to make an even darker area, right? Because red and blue make a dark purple. Right, and then I'm going to grab that dab stuff from before. And I'm going to add some of those back in. Okay. Now, if you're winding up with a mushy mess doing this, let it dry in between each step. Okay. So you would put that base color in with the flicky-doos. And then you would let it dry. Then you would do the dark. Let it dry. Then you would do the red. Let it dry. Right. And then come in and put these other areas in. All right, until you get your pressure down and the way to work your brush to be able to do this and keep everything separated and keep all the colors separated until you become more proficient at that. You want to have each layer dry and then do these steps, because this way you won't wind up with a mushy mess. All right, because I am teetering on a mushy mess. We're teetering. Okay, so I'm going to put in a few more flicks of white, and then I have to leave it alone. I have to leave it alone. Okay, because I'm getting to the point of where it's not nice separated tones anymore all throughout this. It's just looking like a big mushy blob. So we're going to, Eve, put the brush down. Put the brush down. See? I'm a culprit too. I'm a culprit too. I just got done saying to you guys, leave it alone. Don't keep painting over it. Let it dry. And what am I doing over here? I'm dinking around. I'm dinking around and painting on it, right? So, you know what? Don't listen to what I say. Just listen to what I do. Or no, listen to how's that go? Don't do what I do, just listen to what I say. Is that the way that goes? Something like that. All right, anyway, so now we're going to grab our red, and I put a microscopic amount of white paint on my fluffy. I'm going to dab, right? And we're going to fill in our tree, right? We're going to fill in our tree, and having okay, so we are filling in our tree. And I'm going to add some yellow to that part because it's disappearing in my sky. That's another thing you guys got to pay attention to is your color choice. Like I wanted to make this tree red and my sky's red. So I'm going to have to change up my color choice a little bit. We're going to have to change up the color choice a little bit. So we're going to grab some yellow. We're going to grab some yellow. And make this, you like that, right, Cindy? I'm telling you. I gotta watch myself. All right, so now this part is above the yellow in the sky, so I can grab more red. Da 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 da. So, and we're just smushing here. We just smush, smush, smush. And then when this tree is dry, I would add the branches going through the foliage, which I showed you guys like 3 times in this video, 10 times in Friday's video, 100 times in the video on how to paint trees and all of that good stuff. So, you guys get it. You guys get it. And if this is their first time watching me, go get it, because all of my replays are always, 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 always available. And this way you guys can, oh, I totally forgot to do the past blast for fall. All right, I got to get on that, because somebody asked me for the pumpkin trio. So, yeah, see, that's why I need to make some changes, because I'm losing track of, I'm not a person to say I'm going to do something and then not do it. Right? And, but I'm losing track of, what I need to do. Right? So that's telling me don't do what I do, do what I say. Wendy, you get the star, the sticker, everything. Yes, girl. I cannot think of that to save my life. Don't do what I do what I say. Nailed it. Thank you, Wendy. You just saved me from having an aneurysm. Oh, I was totally going to have an aneurysm trying to think of what that saying was. Okay, and I don't want to be like Amanda and lose my cloud like she lost her mountain. So I got to be really careful with my smushing right there. And if you notice, I just changed the colors of my tree, adding more yellow or adding more red, depending on what was behind the tree. Right, so I don't lose what's going on. And then, you know, of course, in a perfect world, you let this dry and then you add some more layers of color. Right, you let that dry and you add more layers of color, right? Because this tree is all the way in the front. So this is where you're going to see all the details. You're going to see all the details of the tree. And then you add all of your branches and you add all of those things in there. All right, so 6,000% landscape Q&A part 4 in the books, guys, in the books. So I hope you catch up too, Donna. Gotta catch up mustard, guys. So I am going to see you all on Fridays. Just keep in mind how to Tuesdays are going into the history books. Like I said, bittersweet, because I've been doing these for 2.5 years, but you know, sometimes you got to follow the universe, right? The universe is pointing you in a direction, and usually, even though it's kind of scary, that direction winds up being a better direction. So that's what we're gonna do. So I gotta turn around. I don't know where to put this thing because it's covering up what we did. So let me put it. You know, you guys already know. Let me not put it. All right, let's pan you guys out. You can see the whole thing. All right, the only thing left to do would be obviously putting more detail on this tree, but I'd have to let it dry in between layers, and then putting the branches in, which you saw me do on this guy and on that guy. So there you go. Wendy, you missed my announcement, Wendy. There's no more How-To Tuesdays, love. There's not going to be any more How-To Tuesdays. Just Friday paint parties, honey. So I love you all to bunches, and I love us hanging out on Tuesdays. But the universe is pushing me in another direction. So I gotta follow that direction, which is scary and you know, sad. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Oh, you missed it too, Amanda. So How-To Tuesdays are no longer going to be a thing. And if you want to paint with me on Tuesdays, I'll be on TikTok. So I'll be on TikTok. I shared the link in the comments. If you want to watch me there, it's another social media app. I really haven't had any problems with it. As far as using it, it's user friendly. It really is. So you're more than welcome to do that. If you don't want to do more social media apps, I understand that. But you guys are going to see me on Fridays where I can give you my entire focus. And so after 2.5 years of How To Tuesdays, Eve is calling it. We're calling it a done deal. And because I got stuff coming up. I'm not going to be able to make it next Tuesday. I got a trip in December. Then we got the holidays. And I was going to turn around and finish out the year. But there really is, I'm going to be not having them more than having them. So I might as well call it. We're just going to have to start looking back. Absolutely, Wendy. There's like 250 videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're going through Eve withdrawal, if you're going through Eve withdrawal, 6,000%, hit that YouTube up. There's like 260 videos on there. Some insane amount of videos that are on there. So, yeah, scroll all the way to the bottom and start from the beginning. Because all the way at the bottom is where I did clouds, I did trees, I did shapes, I did highlighting, I did shadowing. I did all of those basic things that you need for a foundation. Those are all in the first videos that I've done. So, and it was my first videos, so you got to cut me a break. If you got to fast forward through some stuff, I don't blame you. All right. So that being said, I love you all. You know that. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to message me. 6,000%. I'm going to see you all on Friday, though. So you guys have to clear your Friday calendars and make sure your little butts are tuned in for our Friday paint parties. And also, since I only have you guys to focus on, Fridays I will go into more, into more detail about what I'm doing, right? I'm not going to just glaze over it and say, here's a train. You know what I mean? I'm going to break it down for you. Yes, Marcia. Yes, me too. Bittersweet. But I love you all, and you all know that. And I hope you have fun with the landscape. This was part 4, our final part for our Tuesdays. And I love you very much. You all warm my heart. You know that, 6,000%. And I'm going to see you all soon. Okay? So have fun. Go create. I'll see you on Friday. That sounds good to me, Donna. Mwah. All right, bye, fam. Love you bunches. I don't want to get all sad again, so I'm hanging up. Bye.